What the hell happened? Huh. Well, shit. Well, I don't know what happened, but my eye lenses are now like pushed right up against my face. So that's what I fucking get for dropping the headset. Oh, that's what it did. Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
something.
I am surprised I am so composed.
You better do the speaking then, because I'm not.
It's done enough of this.
Far too light a punishment. They should have stripped everything they owned, given a sword, and been told to do the exact same thing she did, because they did even worse than her.
True. But in his guest appearance, the Inquisitor came out to do torties lashings.
I don't give a fuck who did them.
Well, that was fucking brutal to watch.
Pick and choosy fucking law.
They got let off far too easy. Sarah, did you not see what...
Sniveling.
Sniveling?
Yes, sniveling.
Exile and a death sentence is not sniveling.
Did you understand the circumstances of what happened? That does play a
She
part in the
let
sentencing.
peasants go. They let deserters go. There is a difference. Yes,
They
let
were...
trained soldiers go.
Are you going to have a
Doesn't-
conversation with me, or are you going to be angry? You need to pick one, because I am not in the mood. I am the last person you should expect sympathy from, Dowie.
I'm not expecting sympathy. I'm expecting you to understand as someone who is similar to her. This judgment, this law here is
Drop it,
innately
Morian.
If you want to have a conversation about it, we can, but I will not be at the end of your anger. I did nothing to you.
Aye, snivelling. The Slayer oath that I've taken for over 100 fucking years. Aye, none of it means any respect at all.
By definition, it doesn't.
Didn't he do the same for you, Hanson? Oh. No, okay. Come with me then.
I'll take care of Hopper. I got it. Thank you very much.
It'll be good to get out of this city. I'll make sure to spend as much time in that camp as possible to avoid this fucking shithole that needs to be burnt to the ground.
It's a lot better out there than being in this place.
It's better being in the fucking lawless country than it is being here. What a fucking joke, the entire fucking thing.
Arcana. What the hell happened?
Why don't you ask Matthias?
I swear. What the He looks what the fuck happened? Okay. Damn it.
Every minute I stand here is a minute I want to put my hammer through something, and I have nothing to swing it at.
Well, you could always go to the Lord Marshal, get the tent now, and then can get out of here.
I think that's what I'm going to do. I need out of this fucking city. This
I'll lead you to the
fucking
cave.
The gods have been alerted. Tyler?
Yeah, hey. Need anything from the forge, or is there other reasons?
I'm here to pick up the provisions in the tent from the Lord. We need to get out of this town before my hammer flies at someone that I really shouldn't throw it at.
I'm wondering if you have a small whetstone for sale.
Whetstone, best chance is the market. I'll double check to see if he's inside. Send him out.
If you wish, I can check my road.
I'd assume he'd be up near the arena.
I didn't see him walk that way.
No, he went inside after he was, removed from power.
It was removed from power?
He no longer has the wartime authority that he had previously because we're no longer at war.
Hmm. That's why
I wonder
this
how long
province
that's gonna
is
last.
vaunted justice is the way it is. Perfect. 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 That means I do not need to come back to town at all once we leave. Magnificent.
I don't know what to say. Time and again we suffer for other people's actions. We need to distance ourselves.
They are
What can
here
I do
for
you two?
provisions.
The tent and provisions.
I had Sir Doyle put aside 2 tents, some provisions, some basic building and hunting tools. They're in the basement. If you'd be so kind as to take one of the knights and bring them.
Of course.
Would you allow me to speak my mind, as you're the resident Longbeard here? I find that the justice here is woefully lacking, given that Kaz was essentially given probably the worst fate any Dawi could be given, a walking death sentence. Oliver,
I should have been executed for what they did.
as
Well-
should they. They let go of deserters, she let go of civilians.
She let go of people who turned out to be extremists and made an attempt on my life and killed Radad's soldiers. They allowed 2 deserters to flee.
How do you know that? How do you know the deserters won't come back and join the Scarecrows? They even know they existed.
Because they are terrified of the
Yeah.
structure here.
So were the civilians.
When are you going to realize that you are incorrect? You have found yourself fully isolated from everyone around you. When are you going to realize it's not everyone else?
Good. I'm glad I'm isolated now.
Then don't complain.
I didn't start the conversation.
Nor were you a part of it.
Good.
I see nothing has been learned. And you should know better not to incite those kinds of thoughts. This is not their land, nor is it yours or mine. There is a law that we must abide.
True enough, and from my understanding, living deserters at any point is an executable offence.
The wrong person's wrongfully punished.
He's busy fucking arguing. I'll be waiting at the goddamn gate.
Alright.
They already know.
They're doing nothing. I'm not going to stress out more than what it has been for this. Sir.
Fucking learn nothing. Fucking learn nothing. Go fuck yourself. Fuck this province. Fuck these people. Fuck you. Fuck this province. Fuck these people. Fuck you. Fuck Etla. Fuck any god that fucking exists. Fuck the world. Fuck it all.
I don't think this is.
It would also help to sort of get people. There should be more of that.
If you ever need me and want to find me, go fucking look in the woods somewhere for someone trying to die.
Definitely a lot more noisier than where we came from.
Clear the way.
Although it fluctuates. Sometimes it's the most quietest town you've ever been inside of. And then the next day, boom, something random, something unexplainable.
Fuck.
I see.
Oh, are you sure you want to
Then
marry
let's do
her?
that
We have
inside the
others.
keep then. He's like, I'm okay with it.
Beautiful greenery and scenery. As I've
Yes,
read my
yes,
book.
indeed.
I would wait until the farms get extended by those woods around, which will soon
Mm.
Watch the damn box. I'm gonna get that stupid fuck.
Alright.
Why do you own this thing?
I don't own it. I told you. It lives in the place across the street, and I kind of feel bad for it. I've been feeding it. Someone in town was calling it Stinky, so I've been calling it Stinky.
Yeah, it smells pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, think it might work as a peace offering to the Inquisitor?
I swear he's as stubborn as a Dowie himself. It's about right in amongst them. Regardless, he does have some points I need to go over. We're going to be taking our time out here camping, Kaz, but he has requested it of me that I speak to you about all this, even though I in part agree with you. Your actions have not been measured justly, and as much as I'll disagree with him, he's the Lord of this province, although he may not be the Lord Marshal anymore.
Don't give a dead dog what he is a lord of.
That's the point, Kaz. If we're going to be having any interactions with town, you're going to have to try and I mean, try here, lass, not to speak so openly in town about it. Made it very clear that I have to try and assist in making sure you don't get us both executed for some lord's amusement or some nonsense. I'm here for a job, and that's what I intend to do. If I die doing it, then I die doing it. But I prefer not to die before then.
Well, good.
I
He has
don't
nothing
disagree
to
with you.
fucking worry about. Because I will be coming to town as little as possible.
Try and keep your interactions with those that you despise to a minimum, if at all possible. In fact, you may be able to learn a bit more from Sigvana here. Forgive the example, lass, but she despises me. She at least tolerates me.
Only reason I'm tolerating you is Kaz.
Aye. Don't know and I don't really care. Tang. Back away.
Why do you think I don't interact with the Lord Marshal, any of the Erdharts, or any of the Radad nobility, soldiers, or Capitano? There's a fucking reason for it, and it's because every time I do interact with them, I see red.
I said I'd try, but that to say I'd succeed. Regardless, I have some information of a spot I need to now check out over by the Elgate Lighthouse area. Apparently the Dowie had an interest in that for limestone. So I was right. They said it was like a tower on a cliff.
Well, if
Into a
it's a
lighthouse.
tower on the cliff, then it's probably right.
Ruined tower?
Probably. It's the only tower I know of.
I'd imagine if it's a lighthouse, it's on the coast.
Well, that's the thing. It says akin to a lighthouse. It doesn't say a lighthouse.
Well, let's look at the coast then, and then if that's not where it is, we can check out this tower.
The only lighthouse would have been the one in town, and I've been all over that town. I've seen heightened or hair of a fucking limestone.
Oh, don't worry,
God
Nautis.
bless how I know Neil Alpha Border and it is in ruins.
Oh, regardless, I'm of the opinion, at least from my own opinion, if I do find this fucking hold, no one but the people I choose to come with me are going to benefit at all from it, because fuck this province and everyone in it. I understand the Earhart's position, and I understand that where he's coming from. Everybody should have been executed if he wanted to protect himself, and yes, he stood in the way and helped give them a more lenient fucking punishment, but semantics. Not my country, not my law, thus no longer my shit to
is the
give.
one that suggested letting the deserters go was Torty.
Don't care
It was
who did
Ladia
it.
Heidemann. Ladia Heidemann would have released all of them anyway. Did you hear about that, actually? Ladia Heidemann wanted to pardon all the deserters if they'd been brought back. All of them. Not a single one would have lost their life. All they had to do was come in. And if they had done their job and brought them in, this would never have fucking happened.
Well, congratulations. It just further reinforces that it doesn't matter what crime you commit as long as you have power to commit it. That's not a fair world, is it?
I've already been over this, and the last at a point, my anger was misplaced. Shouldn't have been at Cerebeth. None of those four get to say a single fucking word to me about anything you do anymore. Not a single fucking one.
I'll be playing a fun game of picking up their teeth if they do. I'm so fucking done with this province. I'm done with this world. I'm done helping it. If they don't want me to interact negatively, they don't want me to be a problem, then fine. I'll just step over them as they bleed out in the street. I'll pretend they aren't there and they can pretend I'm not there.
That's exactly what I'm probably going to do, because that's exactly what Gradians do.
The only difference is they couldn't offer me enough coin to help them.
That is what they always try to do. They think they can buy their way out. That's whatever they can do. It's the main one. It's not like that. It's simpler. More direct and easy rules to follow.
I find it hilarious that he was saying you should know better. Does he not realise he's talking to a slayer? Any oaths I held were rescinded upon me rescinding everything I own, every tie to clan and hold, any tie to kin, all gone.
I think I am gonna be that petty.
Means I could do whatever dishonorable means I wanted, and I wouldn't give a shit, because it doesn't matter so long as my oath is fulfilled in the end. I get my honor back.
I'm going to do what Blaze actually said I should do. I was never actually part of Clan Stonehammer. I'm going to go back to the Lord, tell him that I was never actually part of the clan. I had no seal indicating I was a dwarf friend. So if he wants me to remain a slayer, he will have to do all of the paperwork to put me in that clan, and then all of the paperwork to make sure that I'm a slayer.
I would advise against
I don't
doing
give a
that,
fuck. Let him send his ravens to the Stonehammers and have them confirm it, so he has to do all that. If he wants to be this fucking petty with me, I'll be petty back.
Look, lass, I'm only trying to be helpful. The closest thing to kin I have, especially given that you were essentially fucking tied to me by blood. You are the only kin I have. I'm not allowed kin of any other kind. Don't really want to lose you.
Yeah, well, your entire goal is to lose me.
Over 100 years. My entire goal is to die and hopefully gain my honor back, true. But with my death, your hold to your oath is no longer fucking necessary. By all means.
I'm supposed to die on the same day as you, so...
Aye, by his command, his.
Non-Dawi Lord.
Blaze does have a point, but at the same time, I wouldn't do it right now, lass. If it's what you're set upon, I'm not going to stop you. I can't.
I'm pissed, I'm in pain. I know I'm lashing out.
I know, and it's not your fault. I already went over this with all of them and none of them fucking listened.
You fucking surprised? Humans will never change. Their greatest enemy is and always will be themselves.
Perhaps they learned it after being enslaved millennia ago.
They've had millennia to change, and they haven't. You think slavery would bring them into unison, understanding that there is a greater enemy out there. But even when there is a greater enemy out there, like the fucking orcs, they'd rather butcher each other in the fucking streets and say, oh, he just wanted power. Oh, he was a robber baron. Instead of actually dealing with the things that want to eat them.
There were those that were here that wanted to do it, and they died.
Let me guess, they weren't humans.
Bjornin.
Not a human.
A Stenatara.
Also not a human. Funny, the only people that understand priorities weren't humans.
The only two races that understand the fucking threat of the orcs, and no one fucking listened. Isn't that poetic?
Until it was way too late. Classic fucking humans. I understand in Laman. I'm not saying he's right. I'm not saying the actions of old were right, but I fucking understand it.
From what I've heard, excuse me, fucking hell. From what I've heard, I've not seen it myself. The atrocities down there would not be condoned by any of us living now. And if you do,
That's why that's why I said they weren't right, but I understood it.
Yes, but making people no longer what they are into soulless things.
Oh, like the humans love to do with their executions by joining armies or being slayers or anything else. As if that's any different. Sure, it's not magically the same, but the premise is still there. I'll get us a torch.
I'm gonna give him limited provisions, including fire starters, etc. Torches are probably among them. Regardless, the only people I give a shit about right now are standing here.
I guess we'll check out if the cave's clear or not. Maybe it was that old Bjorning that was staying here.
Maybe, but who knows?
Well, you've got a one-handed weapon.
So-
Want the torch?
Some foliage at the front. We can probably use that to cover the front.
I doubt anyone will find this.
Nay, it is quite hidden.
So we've got some luminous shrooms over there on the right.
Told you. About the
Leaves for a
hole in
bedding.
the ceiling.
This looks like the place. Fire pit can go down there. Tents can go up here if we clear this shit. Getting rid of those fucking mushrooms. I don't trust any of that shit.
No, I wouldn't. But, this is quite out of the vase.
Out of the way, away from everyone else, where we won't be fucking bothered by other people. We can.
Were we supposed to ping
Continue,
Gonvid when we came out here, or? Were we supposed to ping God coming out here, or?
We probably should. You should have.
Oh, whoops.
Hindsight's 2020. Where the fuck is it?
I thought you were
Bruns?
in them.
I told God I was heading out after I got the fucking provisions, but. Oh
Well,
shit.
tell them about this and then go
I'm
into
on
the
it.
abandoned tower. Oh, well, there's 4 of them, right?
I'm fucking usually good for this shit. To reprimand my fucking self at this point.
Same.
Well, we made our way out here. We've got perfect place for it. Is that 2 holes in the ceiling? Yes, it is. Good.
Yeah, it is.
Good, we can have the fire pit down here and this fucking crenellation here away from everything else. It will not burn anything. Burn the fucking mushrooms so they're not bloody threats. Set the tents up in here. Basic hunting tools, basic craftsman tools.
If you're needing tools like that, you can always just come down the hill.
Hey, Soda.
We were given those.
Hi.
In the spots,
Probably should have said this earlier, but we left town to find the camp spot.
Yeah, I believe that Bruns is tracking that because he just talked to Morian about it.
Okay, thank you.
So I think you're good.
Kaz. They were
Okay.
They were willing to fucking defend her. What does Hopper say? Yeah, you can fuck off.
Right.
Case in point, literally case in point.
Kimchi said we should be fine.
Okay. Did you
Long
mention
and
going out
short.
to the tower?
No, he said Bruns was tracking it, but it should be fine. So I didn't mention the
I'll
tower.
let Bruns know when we go out to do that. I'll let Bruns know when we go out to do that.
Okay.
But for now, let's gather some of the materials so I can fucking set this up. What is it?
I'll get the box.
We can probably set up some torch holders on the walls here if we need to. Basic and rudimentary, but it'll work. Bedroll. No thanks. Bedroll far too big. Thank you. Goodbye. Or
probably a little too wet down here.
It's hilarious. The way he was saying peasants. Like it wasn't peasants that won his fucking war with the orcs. I'll remind you that we had to fucking kick his fucking gear into. Oh, what do I know? I'm just Slayer. Basic tent set up.
I put a ring of stones down there so you can get your campfire started whenever you need it. Have bones rattle against each other.
And a lot.
Hmm.
Looks decent enough. I think it'll work.
Well, Morian,
Aye.
looks like we can probably get branches up here and cover the holes up, so that way the smoke still filters through but water doesn't. Keeps us a little more dry.
Aye. Sounds like a good idea. Aye, I think this would be a perfect place for it. Out of the way. It would even free for us to talk as much as we fucking want.
Oh!
You said you were confident. Did you sign up for it?
Hell no.
Conscripts for what?
They don't pay me anywhere near enough. They couldn't pay me enough even if they wanted to.
Do what?
For the Radod shit.
What Radod shit?
Conscripts.
Being made into conscripts.
Ha!
I was go-
I'd be a
I was gonna
deserter
say,
within a day.
That's what I was about to say.
In
We're
a
literally
day,
living the
I'd be a
deserter
less
life
than a
right
day.
here.
I'm just saying that you would have to deal with any roaming bandits or creatures or animals.
As if we won't already.
Now, especially if you're
Goblins.
cooking anything out here, smell of food will attract.
If I were to list our most likely subjects or suspects, harpies will probably attack the roof because the smoke will come up and they'll be disturbed by it. Goblins will probably harry us and try to get into the cave because they're nasty little bastards and like to take whatever they can. Wild animals, wolves, bears, whatever the fuck, if they see a cave, they're going to try and make it a den. If we are in it, we're just going to have to make it go away. And lastly, lights at night will attract any human-based enemies. So, elf rangers, elves.
I have an idea, but it
orcs.
requires time. That'll stop most of the problems. I'll see about getting lumber and slowly hauling it out here and erecting like a door at the entrance, and then I'll cover it in mosses and plants and conceal it a little bit better. That way animals
just
don't come
talking
in.
about
You can go to the logging camp.
Aye.
That's far from here.
Logging camp's
were
not
talking
far.
about that as
Hunter
well.
camp's not
We
far.
can make a. We can always make a basic stick woven thing with tree foliage attached to it, easy
If
to
you
move,
want
easy to place.
Bungee sticks in the ground.
Oh, no, no.
Definitely do that.
Aye, the bungee stick thing
It's
is
thatched,
another thing we could do.
like a
if we
thatched
want.
wall.
Aye, something like that.
Yeah, you can easily do that. Shouldn't take that long. You get a few logs of lumber from a logging camp and just bring it over here.
Use some of the stone to wedge it into place.
In either case, you have plenty of time right now. Make it as home as much as you want.
Ouch.
You're right, cuz.
Fine. Just another day. Fuck it. No, not really. I've been feeling exceptionally empty all day, and there's a pain at the base of my neck that's just slowly getting worse.
Does
Oh.
not sound natural.
Well, congratulations. None of me is natural. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it could be. I don't know anything. And going to Faye for help has netted me nothing, so why even bother?
If Faye can't help you, maybe you need a different means of help.
I need a different means of help, and I'm trying to find it. Unfortunately, it's not something easily found.
And it is not.
I'm not even going to weigh in on magic business. I don't know what the fuck they did to you. I do not know.
That makes two of
Dwergar
us.
have been known for doing some abhorrent bullshit. Yes, Dwergar, the stain upon Dawiona. Exiles who were banished and Stenatara that live even further below than us. They like to tassel with the
Dwarf drows.
the purple skinned ones.
There we go. That
we go.
simplifies things. Dwarf drow. Ugh. That just. Ugh.
If you hate me, you hate them more. I'm guaranteeing you. Here and now. You hate me, you hate them more.
Given that I don't give a drow much trust at all, let alone.
No, I mean,
combining
no,
the
no,
two
no.
is just, ugh.
You think that the dwarves are thieves just on their own, right?
That they are.
You can consider the Dwerga the original sin, I suppose. I don't really know exactly what fucking happened. They did something, and a vast amount of Dawi were banished all at once, down below. And I mean, they were not killed, they were thrown into the deep roads, into the depths of the dark, beneath the mountains, and just die, essentially. Not even slay a oath, just go down there and die.
I should have just killed them all and be done with it. So just let
Dawi don't kill one another, that's the issue with the laws and that. It sounds strange, but execution is the absolute last thing a Dawi should do because he becomes something called a kin killer, which is even worse than an oath breaker.
I'm gonna look around
But
for
the Dwerga...
any landmarks that I can navigate off of. This terrain's unfamiliar for me.
If I go out there, I'm gonna get lost, so I'm gonna stay here for the moment.
If you all
Educate you a little
wanted
bit.
to go to that tower, so let's see
Is that the river? That might be the river. This is the canyon with the river. Aye, it is. I know where we are. Aye.
something like that could possibly give a Jotun a run for its coin.
Alright, I know where we are.
Alright.
That is good.
Alright, we're just above the ravine that we trapped the orcs in.
Precisely. They're not that far. It is easy to get to here, but not many even know about this cave.
I didn't. Not really any reason to go back up here.
Yeah, not that many do go back up here, if any at all. Only ones that came up here was me and Lorelai. For trekking beyond, that was possibly in here.
Well, with everything done there, I genuinely don't care about them anymore. They can say what they want. I will take the silver for jobs. I will assist if I'm asked to, because he is the fucking long beard of the region. I have to respect that. Might not want to, but I have to.
A human being made of Stanatara.
If we do find what I'm looking for, I'll say this to you here and now, Sigvana. If I find what I'm looking for and you wish to come with us, anything you find in there that's linked to your people, you can have. I've no need for it. The Dawi that I sent a raven to inform of the hold didn't give a shit about it, so they have no need for it. Big F. I don't know what's in there.
Trust you on this.
Have I ever done anything dishonest to you myself? At all? That you can think of at all?
Nay,
Do you trust her?
I do.
We are one hell of a fucking motley crew, I'll say that much, but if we do go down there, there is something there. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's in it. But if there's anything that you think you need to take back, take it. Because by my account, we get first dibs. If we somehow survive fighting whatever the fuck's inside it that made the whole fall in the bloody first place, I'd say that you're more than well in fucking need of compensation for doing so, so it's only fair.
Fair enough then.
I've got no need for it. The Dawi don't give a shit. If they did, they would have fucking came here, but they don't. They don't listen to a Slayer, so why should they get anything from it? I see no point in giving them anything. I'm sure here.
You break your word, I'm taking a beard.
A fair response, and I have no intention of breaking my word. The only thing I want is to either kill the thing that's inside it, or die trying. What you do with the place afterward, I don't give a shit. You don't even need to fight the thing. I was told that that's where I need to go. There's something there that needs to die, and that's what needs to die.
It is still plenty of light out. Could go looking near that old tower.
Aye, why not? Gives us something to do. We can come back here later and get our bedrolls all situated and get ourselves nice and comfortable for the night.
I would let God know, because I have not.
Give me just a moment.
Let God know that you're heading out there. Just say, given the proximity, it is literally a throw away from the Eshma Alpha.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me.
So if they come snooping around, don't be surprised.
I won't be.
Ori and Kaz and Sigvan are going to start heading towards Elven Tower of the cliff to find the limestone. They're going to the Elven Tower to find the limestone. Okay, 1 second. Soda?
Hmm.
If you wanted to say to Bruns, he told me to tell you he's there.
Oh, I was just going to
Saying
tell
if
him
you
we
had
were
something
coming
to
out
talk to
here.
him about. Ah, that's fine.
No, I do not.
Alright.
goods are there. You also may want to snuff out the fire and such.
Fuck.
I got it.
Oh, okay. The Lord, after he was done berating me for trying to speak my mind and my thoughts on this province, which, of course, he turned a deaf ear to, he gave me a scroll. Another one of the same scrolls that led me to the evidence I found by the waterfall. Same expedition. Apparently they made their way over to the cliff by the water where the Elven Tower. I don't know if it's Elven Tower, but they said tower that looks like a lighthouse but not a lighthouse. Just a cliff with a tower. And that's where I'm going to head next, see what I can find, see what evidence is there. The more I find, the more, well, the closer we get. Plus, we have plenty of daylight.
Nothing over that way. You can just always go up the river. Or find where that small cyclops was at and go from there.
If we can figure out where the if we can figure out where that was, find the highway mark, we'll have more of a triangulation point to work with. I still believe that they were using the waterway as a highway.
From what I've heard, you had to pull it to the river, which means it was east from where you're at. To the battlefield. So in that case, just go east from the battlefield. Go from there.
I actually like it out here more. I prefer it out here. Don't have to worry about a dagger at my back every time I have to look around over my shoulder.
Feeling and hollow like an oddity is better than feeling like an outcast and a traitor despite everything.
Despite all the good you did, none of it fucking mattered.
Of course it didn't. Of course it didn't. It's easy to point fingers and blame, when in reality the entire situation was their own failing because they failed to appease Corano, one of their towns. My bad, Cassetto. One of their towns. They failed to meet their demands and then left them to die when the orcs showed up. Who knows? Who knows if they even did anything to help them when the robber baron was around or even before?
It's funny. That certain alpha was one of the few that actually decided to help them.
What the fucking hell you helped them?
Oh,
Oh god, are pigs flying? No. Fuck.
He was known as Az'Rael or rather Mirandai.
One of the fucking coin cousins. Oh, that's weird.
Oh.
I suppose if he's getting coin out of it, I guess it would be a good reason, but...
But still, that also means one of the coin cousins was helping them and not the Rodons.
It's true, I mean... Lano itself wasn't very, on good terms before it was destroyed.
I'm sure they'd like to keep that past hidden too, huh?
But that the Baron Mem killed a third or so of
Did he?
Palermo.
Oh yeah, I'm the villain.
And then Palermo got taken over by the robber baron during that entire civil war.
They probably prospered more under the robber baron.
All because of Heidemann.
Funny how once the truth starts coming out, how shit they all look, huh?
Heidemann went out on her own. During a wartime to go assist Bolano in the middle of the night. She got captured by the Scarecrows. Scarecrows were all a part of the robber baron. So, she caused a stalemate to start slipping in the robber baron's favor drastically.
So Mem kills a third of Balerno and they forget Cassetto exists until they need something from it.
True, and now...
Oh, is it work or die?
All of Bolano is dead. At least, most of it. Those that could escape escaped, as far as I know.
Hey, look! We have another option. We don't have to go to the office, we can always just go to fucking Cassetto.
Hmm.
Could always go to here. It's not that far of a walk.
I'm sure I've got a couple
honest,
good
it's not like-
contacts.
It's funny, I don't really have any real ties to Nortis, apart from those I put on myself.
I tried to help them, but look at what heroes get. You either get labeled a traitor and branded with treason, or you get 10 lashes and stripped of your possessions.
Or
What was
7
it
if you're
again?
a hobbit.
Oh, 7 if you're a hobbit too. Oh, lovely. That's just further proof that just their vaunted justice is just a lie that they use to ensure power. But then again, laws are threats made by the dominant socioeconomic ethnic group of a given nation. It's just a promise of violence that's enacted and the guards act as an occupying force.
Laws and Hayloft are put there in reason, so people have something to follow.
From what I understand, your villages have a very strict hierarch. Jarl or what's the male
follow the
equivalent?
Jarl or
Jarl.
Jarla, and you adhere to the words of a shaman.
I bet, correct me if I'm wrong, it's also a lot more tribalistic. It's not so much as you have this humongous fucking council of nobles and a bunch of pricks waving their cocks around.
You are correct, there is no council There is only Jarl, Rayala, and Shaman, and then there is the king. That is it.
Aye, that's
Okay,
kind of what I
clans
thought.
above all clans.
Kind of like how a grove has the dryad, then you have the maidens and chieftain and sentinel, and other than that there is really no hierarchy other than how old you are and how long you've spent with the tribe.
Precisely. With the various clans, some minor. Well, there's plenty of minor ones. There's only 4 major ones, last I recall. Gunvald, Runjar, Dekfin, and Torvald. I come from Torvald.
Then you've got Gradia, where you have the council, and then you have barons, and then you have lords, and the custode, and the castellan, and the nobles, and the guards, and the capitano above the guards, and it's just a fucking mess.
That's about right.
That is the tower there, yeah.
Tower on a cliff.
There's not really any nobles, as it were, in Shenlov, at least. The only ones that are noble are Yalas, Urls, and such.
Sounds like a fucking better place than this, even if I'd be treated like shit for being a little elf.
The Jarl and the... If I'm not mistaken, is it the shaman that holds the Jarl responsible, or is it the Jarl that holds the shaman responsible and vice versa? Because I hear that it's something like that, like if ever a Jarl steps out of place, the shaman brings the hammer of the law upon them, and vice versa.
Oh. You're just crunching away.
If that way is the old graveyard.
I don't want to be anywhere near that.
This is the tower with stone.
This is the cliff face now, I'm just looking for limestone.
This is why we got attacked by that troll escorting Kovas out of here.
Aye.
Kovas, that snake.
Honestly, he sounds better than a mem.
I have to say...
At least you can trust a snake to be venomous.
Killing your own kin is one thing.
I'll never trust a kinslayer.
I'll never trust a Gradian.
True, don't trust many guardians. This place is rotten, to say the least.
It needs burnt to the ground and built up again.
Are the Imperials still encamped up there?
I don't think so, but maybe.
Nay, they are not.
With the Sabine forest being secured, I don't think they would have been kept there.
At least now we are playing a dangerous game. Being discovered by the fucking Redots is one thing, but being discovered by the Elgi as well.
Who knows, maybe the hold is underneath their fucking walls.
I mean, Nithmemilonian starts here and goes into the Alpha territory.
Yeah, well, Nith Mammalorian's also an ancient elven city, so...
It is.
Gradia probably didn't exist back then.
Oh no, it did not. The only things that existed was, from what I know, Elysium, Nithmamamorian, your Alpha forests, and the Stanatara mountains.
Are still innovations.
Well, they probably didn't pull all the wood down.
Those have been there. They're dried. Sun bleached.
Comrades, stay away. You see the Elgi's marble fucking walls from here.
True. Almost hit me in the face with it.
Sorry.
This is fine. This place has seen so much blood in just 6 months.
I'm gonna see if I can contact the god again.
I wonder what it used to be.
It looks like it was 2 towers, like a small sort of area to keep an eye on the Alpha.
Like a citadel, sort of, maybe? Definitely was a small walled area, maybe a keep.
I wouldn't say it was a care, it is way too small for it. And not even then, it is only 2 towers. There's
Maybe.
one that is enterable.
Well, it looks like you had to go up that one to get across the bridge and into that one.
True. I mean, there's a lot of places in this province that are ruins.
But this looks like a destroyed building. At least the roof of one.
I mean, that's wrong, but
Or maybe a stable?
cause it to be destroyed.
Oh, it looks long overgrown, so maybe a fight that happened a while ago.
Whatever that information all that he got made it sound like this place was up and running back then.
Well, this hold has been gone for a long time, apparently. I mean, look at this tree. This is probably at least 50 to 75 years old. And that one has to be over 100.
True. It has been quite overgrown from all sorts of things. This place has seen Capitanov, Imperials, Orcs.
Of course it has. Despite its crumbling nature, it's still a strong point.
There it is.
I've informed God. Now we wait.
We're just reminiscing and thinking of what this place used to be.
depends on how old the information you got was.
Well, there are towers and it looks well, this looks like some sort of enclosed wall or defensive structure, so barracks, outpost, lookout point.
I was thinking like a keep
Maybe
or
a
something like
mix.
that.
Well, that's
Especially
the
with how
thing, it
tall
looks
that
like it may be
tower
a-
is.
If it was a
It may be a
cave, it
mix.
would have a bit more.
Because look, you've got the circular tower here, and then you've got that tower there. One of them looks more built for a siege. The other one looks like it could have been a beacon of some kind. Maybe a light. Maybe it is the lighthouse. Maybe there's a lighthouse for Eshma.
Nah, it is not Alpha. Doesn't look Alpha.
If the stories are right, the land here used to be different, so it could be possible. Then again, who knows?
Design is too human. Too Grodian, as it were.
Maybe the Gradians had some sort of beacon that they could alert people if the Alpha, the elves, alien, attacked. Maybe it's like a beacon they could light for a warning.
I mean, it's close enough.
Over at Cassetto, and then they go from Cassetto over to.
It's close enough to the shore. It could have been used as like a lookout tower. You know, scouting vessels coming back and forth.
That area that is down there, it is a bay.
That'd be, and especially that tower. It's kind of hidden in the trees, so you wouldn't necessarily be able to spot it as easily from the ocean. And then you can watch out across the entire water, see what's coming back and forth.
True.
A tower for the elves and a tower for the water.
So, well, it may not have been a direct lighthouse. It might have been a, lookout tower. Just disguised as a lighthouse.
Possibly to keep an eye on the Alpha.
That too.
Speaking of, we should probably get down from here before we get questioned. I don't think I'm going to be doing any spooky green light to massive tree explosion things that'll earn the eye of the entirety of it for the last.
Hopefully not.
You're not a wood Alpha. With a stick that the high Alpha want.
For fuck's sake. Or what is with the algae and their obsession with wood? They worship the damn thing.
Oh.
When the wood elf is that worship the wood, and then you've got the high elves which are so they have the stick so far up their arse they can't worship it because it worships them.
They have one god.
High elf are like me, Morian. They've lost their connection to the forest. Either it was removed or they willingly gave it up. That's the difference between wood elves and high elves.
Sure as shit didn't fucking seem like they were removed when they sent those wood elves after us.
Well, that's because that was Diadel.
And them. Yes, this ancient being, as it were.
According to
ancient being that speaks to the trees.
According to Phase, the first guardian, which means he was one of Etla's creations, as though technically we all are, except for Sikvana. But I don't know how much I believe that.
That I'm not one of that I'm not Etna's and Albania's.
No, she may have created the races initially, if she is the god that they say she is, but I don't think we're her creations.
Create the Bjorn. She didn't
Well,
create the Bjornings.
That's why I said initially, because the Bjornings came after, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Fuck if I know they didn't. I know they
Elysium.
They sure as shit didn't make us.
Mm.
We arrived here, if the stories are to believed. Implies we came from somewhere else. But we arrived
I
here.
don't think any of us were created by the gods. I think they just like to take credit for it because it makes them look good. And what bigger credit would it be to say you created life than to a trickster god playing the trick on everyone that you're their children?
At least Bainir is truthful.
And give
Can't
my
say much for
condolences to anyone who still believes in the righteous holy ones.
I can't say much for Bania, and I can't say much for Gerda.
Etla, you
Why
mean?
is it that most other... No, Gerda. I'm talking about my own god. Bania and Gerda I can't say much about because, well, I've literally pledged my oath to Gerda and I know that he was our founding ancestor. Cleared whatever the fuck was here and allowed us to make our kingdoms here. Bania, the Omnis exist, thus exists. Bania did what he did.
He's been around since the first era.
If everything is to be believed, or if the histories are to be believed, this first era that everybody keeps talking about, everybody that's from that first era, the gods that came from that time are the gods that we know now. Because apparently every god, by some strange coincidence, has some form of being tied to have been mortal at some point. Etla, this walking fucking tree, apparently had a stick that was a part of her that she walked around with. I don't know if she pulled it out her arse or if she pulled it off her head, I can't tell. Sotar and Mithrax, I don't really know why, but the gods seem like vicious cunts to me at times. They don't really do much to help and they expect you to go off and kill for them.
At least with Bainir, you just have to gain his attention by feats of combat or something that he deems worthy enough for you to hear his voice.
Sounds similar to how Gurdar works. Gurdar doesn't really help. If it makes sense, he doesn't do anything to help you. The whole idea with Gurdar is that you try to build up your might so that you can create the posterity that you dream of to become prosperous. To ensure prosperity, you need might, and he doesn't really do much to assist with that. What he's done for me is he's given me tasks. Hence why I know that there's a hold here, hence why I know that there is something in the hold, and hence why I know it needs to die. Honestly, most people would think me fucking mad, but given this fucking province, I think I'm actually one of the most sensible people here. Which baffles me, because even I think I sound mad. Apparently the stick talks to Faye, and apparently another stick, a larger stick, a tree man thing, apparently told it to nuke half a fucking country. I don't think I very much enjoy listening to words that are inside people's heads. Fucking Diadel, this giant fuck-off tree thing, apparently sits within Eshma. Don't know how him and the fucking fence sitter get along, but apparently the great fence sitter and this fucking tree go way back.
It's because wood elves
Many
are
of
like their
sounds like-
ancestors, so the high elves accept them and respect them as elders and nothing more.
Mania sounds like what you would expect from a god. You don't expect gifts or boons or that from a god. You don't fucking demand that shit of them. You earn it.
Precisely. I mean, he was the only one to answer the humans that left Elysium, then went into Halos. He was the only one to answer their call, as the stories go. Story in that javelin of ice
I'm tired of this world. I just want the power to change it. Or at least stop the pain from just constantly flowing through my body. Please just let the pain stop. I don't ask for much. I don't. I've never asked for much. And still I suffer for it all.
All I know is that when I was there, the Bjornings had, or I guess the Northmen just in general, life was simple, life was easy, don't fuck around, don't find out. Very simple.
It is simple. It isn't that complicated. It gets complicated when there are those that have ambition to try to get power. If you're a thief, you're found out, you lose your hand.
Murder with intent, I get it.
Even then, those that do not have to worry about going to the Jarl, the shaman, can typically settle things in a square. Either to the death or to whatever is determined.
I've had a couple of those in my time. Never really went to the death with them, but I did get challenged a couple times. Didn't even fucking do anything to them, but whatever.
I went and did one. It was against another hunter that did not like me and decided to try to kill me that way.
tried to kill you legally.
Precisely. I agreed. He is now been in the earth, as it were, for a long time, more than 10 winters.
That's fair. I myself... I used to abide by the dwarven laws, I used to abide by oaths, honour and all that. I took my Slayer oath after I survived what I shouldn't have. I should have been there to fight to the death with everyone else, but I wasn't. I don't even know what killed them. That's the strangest part. No bodies. Only the bodies of my own. No idea what killed them. No traces, nothing.
That is if they're even dead. And if they are dead, perhaps that is far worse. Just like Aegon, the walking corpse.
Talking about walking corpse, just like a soma.
I know about that.
Oh, speaking of gods and the miracles. Ah, yes, the undead monster is a miracle of Az'Rael.
What do you expect the peasantry will believe? They don't know about the monster that is beneath the flesh. They have that one performing healing on others.
Why him of all people? Why would the miracle happen just for him and no one else there? If a miracle is going to happen, why just for him?
Because I don't even think he's human any longer.
He's more myself, I think, but I could be wrong. Regardless, this province is fucked. Just in general, it's fucked. No matter where you go, no matter what way you turn, you'll step in shit that you don't even know is there. It is what it is, fortunately. Regardless of what I'm here for, and I'm going to do it once I've got it done. If I'm dead, oh well. If I'm still alive, we'll see where fucking destiny takes us next. What are these stones? Still waiting on God.
I think they're gonna be a while.
Yeah, they're going to be quite a while still.
I did tell him. He did say acknowledged.
Perhaps there's nothing for him to say here. I don't know.
As to say. At the very least, I can have a look at what's here. May as well.
They'll say north of here is Myth Mammalian.
I much prefer to avoid going near any ancient ruins, thank you very much.
What else would I be doing? Going back to town? Huh. Yeah, alright.
Going back to town, sit on your favorite barrel.
Fill a barrel full of pitch and roll it down the street on fire for all I care.
Lord Marshal, or no, he's not Lord Marshal anymore. Lord Earhart told me if we need anything, if just to send word, they'll send us what we need. Fucked if I know what we're going to need because I don't even know what we're looking for or where it is, so that's going to take some time.
If I were to guess, it's in the mountains.
I'm of the same opinion, but for some reason they're down here, and it sounds like they were looking to build expansions. So this is definitely for building.
Or perhaps they were looking to repair it.
Oh, from what I was told, it was in the notes. They were looking for the limestone for expansion purposes. And they were keeping the kingdom, quote-unquote, tied up in diplomatic negotiations while they just did what they wanted to do. So,
Typical
once
South
again,
Africa.
perfect example of law at its finest.
Well, like I said before, Grotti is just a land of rules for thee and not for me.
If you're a noble, you can get away with whatever. If you're a peasant.
Ah, yes. Just so I clarify, the words I like to use there, and a group of peasants decided to do what they thought was right. Yes. Peasants decided to do what was right, quote unquote.
Yes, the daughter of the former Castellan.
I know it's maybe the Castellan.
The right person. They stripped Matthias of all his holdings and such, but apparently it was Torti that suggested the idea.
Of course.
But apparently they're aware of it and nothing's been done for correcting it, so the fuck 'em.
So they even knew it was Torty it was the one that orchestrated it all and chose to punish Matthias further because he said he was the one.
Apparently.
I believe the person that wound up taking the brunt of the punishment was the Lord Marshal himself, because again, he stated to me quite bluntly that it was because of him that both you and all of them are still alive. It was because of him interfering in him putting himself in the way to defend people, that people are still alive, including the ridiculous maneuvering he had to do to keep you alive, Kaz.
No, Morian, he's not the one that kept me alive. It was you.
The long and short of it is I don't really care one way or the other. I never have. This is my country, not my rules, not my problem. From now on, if they need help, they can bugger off and find someone else. Not even if they would pay me, they're not getting anything from me.
Why don't they use all that coin that they sat on the entire time to go hire some mercenaries to deal with their problems instead of begging peasants? The same peasants that caused all of their problems because they're too cheap to buy mercenaries.
Why buy mercenaries? You have to give silver away when you can just do it to peasants that can easily die and don't have to pay them.
Because they're used to relying on the peasants because we're the ones that drug their ass out of the fire during the fucking war with the orcs. So, what's another little thing? What's another little thing? What's another little thing?
How many
Doing
of
it since
these?
the time of the Capitano.
Of course they
The old
have.
one.
It's cheaper. Of course it is. They do that.
Yeah.
Remind me, was it 3 or 4 of the orc generals? I thought.
4.
I've bled plenty for this fucking province. They would have had my head simply for helping out. All I did was try to save my friend, and they were like, "Nope, we're going to take your head as well."
I'll be right back a moment. I need to go find a bush.
Honestly, lass, I don't know what to do here, but it's safer for us to just cut off any emotions with it and just treat it like a business. Kurt, as polite as you can be while being restrained, and long short of it, deal only with who you want to deal with. Talk to no one else other than, I guess, ourselves outside of town, because no one can complain to hear her moaning out here. I guess they would call it moaning. I guess the only other one that could hear us would be fucking Faye, but I really don't give a shit. Let the hypocrites hear us, I don't give a shit.
She's heard me scream at the trees long enough. Don't think she listens to me if the forest can even see me. Who knows? To her eyes, you might just be sitting here talking to yourself.
Certainly how they fucking treated you. Despite, being sent here by the Stonehammers, yet they didn't honor the Stonehammers at all. In fact, they fucking insult them by tossing away the person that was sent there to help them. Blindly fucking tossing their hands up in the face of the Stonehammer clan that has done nothing but try to help them. And then dare to try and use the Stonehammer name to get me to fall in line.
Oh, there. Hi. We're looking to ask the Merchants Guild.
And bear in mind, I'll use the same word that Arnulf used.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
Peasants. Even though they have the coin, compared to Arnulf, who actually owns land that belongs to Vernfolder, the kingdom. She's a peasant. He's a lord.
Well, the only person I care to interact with in town is Marin. The rest of them, I guess I'll be as polite as I can be. Like you said, they only get the grunts and nods yes or no.
Safest that way. That way people can't complain about any words you say. And I'll be honest, I couldn't give a shit one way or the other. But, yeah. They can't complain if they can't hear it. And we have plenty of space out here to let loose as much as we want. Be as truthful as we want. I genuinely do not give a shit about nobles. I don't. Never been one. Never going to be one. I forgoed any chance of any of that shit ages ago. And the nobles that think they're right are always the problem, because they're never right. They think they are, but they're never right. And they think that they are judgeless. They do some heinous shit, especially in Gradia. I can't even tell you how many fucking contracts I've had in the past where I've been asked to kill someone, some poor sod that, for whatever reason, crossed a noble and they got labelled a traitor or criminal or whatever the fuck. As I said before, my honour has long since been dead, and it will only come back to me once I am dead. Which means I don't have to abide by any rules of honour. At this point, I can just do what I judge to be fit. Of course, the caveat from that becomes that we are beholden to the laws of the places we go. If we don't want to get executed, we want to actually follow our oath, the only oath that matters. We have to obey by the laws of the land, even if we fucking despise it. These conversations could easily have gone a completely different way. You realise that, right? I've been very kind to help the Lord Marshal, despite him harbouring a beast that slayed thousands. Harbouring an undead monster that's infected God knows how many. The hypocrisy is not lost on me, and unfortunately for him, his good deeds are costing him just as much. After all, the Lord Marshal is no longer a Lord Marshal. He's just a plain old lord now.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when people are stupid. I wouldn't even be having this conversation if they, just did their fucking job.
If they did their job,
I cannot tell you how many times I've had to pay for someone else's fuck up. Half the monster requests we get, you wanna know how they all start? You're gonna laugh.
because they try to handle it themselves first.
One? They try to handle it themselves and they are woefully inadequate and underprepared and unable to do so. Two, they stumble upon the young of the thing and they think that that's the real thing and they kill it and then they're like, yay, look at us. We're so fucking smart, blah, 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 until mummy and daddy come in pissed off as all hell and butcher the lot. And finally, we have rule number, the third most noble one. Nobles poking their nose into places they shouldn't. Go fetch me this rare artifact from the ass end of nowhere beneath Agmadrod because I want a new fucking paperweight for my desk. Go touch this magic doohickey because I tell you to.
Rantalin, that's what happened with Corona. That cursed place. Apparently something got unleashed there. Turned its populace into man-eating flesh creatures.
I've seen similar through near the borders of Morogarath beasts that are mutated and devour one another or devour any human they can. They look nothing like what they used to be, but apparently, if the fucking eggheads are to be believed, they did in fact used to be either elf, dwarf, or human.
Adult human.
Not all the slaves got out.
I know that. The ones that were human, they still retained pieces of themselves. Their ears were still rounded. Well, the ones down there that were alpha, their ears were still the same. But they didn't have any sense of eyes, as it were.
That's an odd one. Staring into the depths of the abyss. That's a new one.
No eyes, but claws that were akin to daggers in length. Able to rip through plate or having the entire arm fused together into a bone spike.
Give me a moment, I'm going to have a more comfortable seat, possibly a lie down while I wait. I don't know how long I'll be on after this, I'm getting very tired.
Oh no. Don't need you getting tired.
I mean, we have been going for about 4 hours.
Oh shit, we have. It doesn't feel like it.
Certainly doesn't fucking feel like it.
Mm-mm.
It really does not feel like it. That's
Oh god.
You're gonna be waiting here all day.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if the stone of this tower and the stone around it were all built of the same fucking thing. Wouldn't be surprised if the limestone I'm looking for is literally in this tower.
Maybe. But how does that even pertain to you finding this hold in the first place?
Following the footsteps of an expedition apparently from the hold.
Backtracking, I guess.
Aye. If I follow the footsteps, I might be able to find another entrance or another pathway.
How long ago was this?
200 years. Or at least 200 years since they found it.
Well, the land itself is much different now than it was 200 years ago.
True, but I've already found signs of their passing already. I found signs by the waterfall, tally marks for people's foot traffic. Fucking centuries old. It's still there. Deep enough to be noticed and deep enough to leave a mark.
Indeed.
Oh god, why is my room so fucking cold?
awful long time. Going over this damn mountains is gonna be a pain. Trying to get back the Hanloth.
With them orcs going over those mountains right now, that's probably not going to happen for a time yet.
Not just orcs.
The rats. Aye.
Maybe rats and orcs, trolls, ogres, so on those mountains.
Well, the rats and orcs might be working together. I know there was the beastmen. Was helping Blaze yesterday. Found a giant minotaur. Don't know if I told you already, but it was with a rat ogre.
The cloven ones and the fucking rat ogres. The fucking wreckies of it.
Dude, that there's so many bestial things after animals.
Makes you wonder, where did they come from? Maybe the animals themselves got fucking transmorgified. It would
Given
not
that
surprise me
this
if that was the case.
It's taller than me.
Aye, the walking lizards. They're not fun.
No, they are not. Not even the giant ones that have more flat heads and elongated jaws.
They don't like to die, I've noticed. Hit them a couple of times with a hammer. Don't like to die.
No, but you just have to lift them up and then drop them on your knee.
You know the one that I found to be a bigger pest? The ones that can make themselves go fucking invisible.
I hate those. I hate those ones because you could
You
not
never know
see
what they
them,
fucking are.
even if they were
You can
right
hear them.
here. You could not see them if they were this close.
You can hear them. Can't fucking see them.
Yeah.
You know what would be a real fucked situation if the Raki ever adopted the fucking lizards?
I don't know. I think those lizard things are too bestial to even try diplomacy.
Can you imagine an invisible rat?
I don't know. I mean, they kill grey orcs.
Aye, they do.
That's something. They're smart enough to set traps as well. As crude as they are.
Have you seen those fucking rat ogres? They're like a fucking cruel maze of stitching.
I've seen them from a distance.
I killed a few. When we were fighting that Beastmaster, he had a few under his control. Saw them
I've
recently.
heard that they had these minotaurs, this rat troll thing, and another creature that was almost like an ogre.
I can tell you something that can fuck off. Your bloody frost ogres, they can fuck off. You think the ogres down here are bad? If they could see, if the people down here could see what the frost ogres fucking wear, they'd be terrified.
And the frost and ice trolls.
Their horns make for a really good drinking horn. Hollow them out, keeps them nice and cool.
True. Until you find a frost troll that has been armored by red orcs.
Yeah, no, that can get to fuck.
I've seen that happen before. Red orcs
I don't want to speak
are
it
not
into
as
existence.
smart as the grey ones, but they are still
Vicious.
cunning enough, vicious, and they can match us in strength.
Aye. They go full fucking berserk. You can hack their limbs off and they still keep coming.
They come over the mountains from the Darklands.
I've fought a few in my time. Don't like them. I usually have to smash their legs out and then smash their head, because otherwise they just keep swinging. Their arm can be in tatters. They move their body in such a way that they swing the fucking stump.
Ugh.
I'm not one to speak it into existence, but the most terrifying thing I can imagine would be an armored Jotun. Armored Jotun controlled by the orcs. That would be something I don't even want to see.
That is impossible.
I used to think the same, but now we have undead orcs. Fucking orcs that somehow got sick. Somehow. Fuck knows how.
You know the Cyclops?
Aye.
The stories of the Jotun make that thing look trivial.
Imagine the Cyclops, the big one that kicked down that fucking wall. Imagine that armor.
The big one. Yeah, I know,
Aye.
that would be dangerous, but the Jotun, stories of them are much bigger. They live on the mountains.
From what I've seen, because I've seen a couple in passing, never up close, never the Frost Jotuns, you never go close. You could probably build a fortress on its back and it would wear it like a backpack.
To make a care on a Jotun's back.
They're big enough.
They are big enough.
Hill giants, they're a bit more easy to deal with. They're smaller than their frost cousins.
I've never heard of these hill Jotun.
They live more in the southern lands. Tend to be more attracted to heat. You can mistake them for a mound if they've been lying long enough. They grow like moss and shit over the back. Not a fun time, that one. That's the one that gave me that fucking bite mark. Tried to swallow me whole. Not a fun encounter. Aye, no. I'm quite happy not having to deal with armored Jotuns or armored fucking hill giants or whatever the fuck. Could you imagine the amount of iron it would take? You're not building armor, you're building a fucking hold.
Yeah.
There's one other creature. Just one. Hasn't been seen or sighted in a long time, and can't tell if it's myth or true or not. But the great fire drakes. If it's to be believed, one of the king's armors, excuse me, one of his mantles is made of a type of scale. Crimson red and giant fucking fire-breathing lizard that can fucking fly. That's the story. I've never seen one. I have heard, though, there was a tale that a hold fell to one. Fell in a day. Didn't even last any longer than a day. Gates were gone. Defenders were turned into ash where they stood. Even the metal they wore just gone. But that's only if you believe that.
Not many believed in a griffin, and yet there is one, and the Otards have it as a symbol.
Aye, which makes you wonder, where did the Empire get the idea for their sigil?
You're saying that is a worm?
It's based off of one, twin-headed dragon.
Well,
Where do you think the term dragon sickness comes from?
I wouldn't know. I'm not a Stenatara.
There's a... It's an affliction. It's not a nice one. There are some that end up getting themselves enraptured by gold to a really unhealthy degree. And I mean, like, you think dwarves are greedy before. You've seen nothing till you've seen one of these things. I've seen one before. I've seen one Dowie that had the fucking sickness. He was practically skin and bone. He would sell his own fucking food just to get more coin.
Just sounds like any other
He sold the
Stenatara.
clothes off his back. He sold any heirlooms he had to his clan and kin. He was essentially an outcast, even worse than me. Can't remember the word for it, but there's a banished type of dwarf. It's like when they get banished, I can't remember the word for it. That's out of character. He was practically skin and bone, and apparently it all started after he made his first gold coin. If it's to be believed, they hoard it like what you would hear in the old wives' tales. Dragons hoarding coin and making beds out the shit.
I will say this though. Every rumor or legend, myth, so on, there's truth in it.
Well, let me pose a question to you. Why do you think there are exterior battlements on a dwarven hold? I can tell you it's not for the orcs.
I don't know, I've never seen them. I only know of the cares that line the walls of the mountains against Monogorath and the Laka lands that are manned by myth people.
The more ancient holds, for example, the main dwarven city in Vunfolda. The exterior of the mountain was carved in such a way that you can see Vunfolda, you can see the fortifications. They're grand and the gates are massive. Which makes you wonder why are the gates so fucking massive? Why are there ballistae that could pierce through a fucking ship mounted to them? There's a reason they have external defences. I just don't know what it is. Most of the Frostjotun don't go anywhere near dwarven holds.
There's no reason to. They usually, from the stories I've heard, they stay on the mountains of the north, where it is coldest. But from news months ago that I heard about, they're not up there any longer. They've come down from the mountains. Blizzards are getting
no good.
Blizzards are getting more prominent. The Frostjotun are coming down from the mountains. And the civil war between Gunvald and the Sigrun. Love itself is tearing itself apart because one wants to remain in power while the other is trying to do something. Precisely. Which apparently this Sigrun Faye knows about. Personally.
interesting, that one. I don't know anything about that, but
I don't know.
everywhere I have been, regardless of what fucking coast I've ended up on, everywhere I've been, everywhere is at war. I can't find a fucking province that's not at war.
I would say Carpazra. That
Is
is
it
the only
though?
place. The only time that they would be having issues is if there's orcs coming down from the mountains. Otherwise, they are no issue there.
Honestly, I
At least when
couldn't
I
say.
went there. Though when I went there, came across an old fortress that was in ruin. And after some time, Droger appeared.
Down. Hold on a second. Draugr appeared? How?
It is part of Mitbluth Oath that they've taken. I was supposed to go to Kabazra. I found something left by a Bioni known as Aegir. And it was a test to prove if one is worthy of taking it or to die. And so Droger appeared in wave after wave. Many of them came from the ground.
Sounds like a bunch of unworthy people. Sounds like the people that came before you didn't really match up to what he was looking for then. From what I understand of your people, and what your legends speak of, and what I've seen for myself, Draugr tend to be in areas where you've got, I guess, tests of strength, will. It's always tied to something like that, from what I've been told. They're always tied somewhere to that.
Draugr, those are disgraced by Bania. Which is interesting, because the Bionin, he was down in Nithmamulorian ages ago. I don't know how long, but he was down there taking something back from the Vlanathi and bringing it back to him.
I'm curious if he survived.
He survived long enough for me to find what his footsteps into Nithmamulorian and the Karpazra, but
What I meant was if he survived longer than that. Surely if there was something important down there that would have already had an effect in Halo, that this was ages ago.
perhaps. I don't know how long ago it was.
Hard to say. I don't know much about this Nith place, but from what I've heard and the abhorrent shit I've heard, which I'm inclined to fucking believe at this point, because everything in this fucking province is batshit. The making of Warforged through human sacrifice or whatever the fuck, human enslavement, and basically being used as ingredients more than fucking people. If the Dawi indeed had a hand in that, then they should have answered for it. Maybe they did. I don't know. All I know is that I had no fucking part in it, and I want no part of it. Anything
You may
that goes
not have
down in the
part
side
of
of
it,
that
but
door.
your people did.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't have a hand in it. And I don't know if justice was already meted out against those or not, because again, it could have been the reason why the fucking Dwergar got banished for what they did. Fucked if I know.
Maybe.
It's strange. Because the reason I'm thinking the Dwergar might have been involved in that is because this sounds like some dark magic bullshit. And they were fucking banished for dark magic bullshit. So perhaps that was the reason. Maybe they were doing things that the kingdom was not aware of, or maybe the kingdom didn't fucking exist at the time.
Who knows?
Regardless, I had no hand in it, and I want no part of it. I'll be honest, all this magic nonsense well over my head. I want nothing to do with it. It's done nothing but
Whatever
bring
it
ill.
is, the Alpha wanted never even so drastic to try to kill all of us. That went down there. Elf, human, Stanatara. Even if they did end up killing the rat one.
I'd like to believe that if that's how... Wait, hold on. Say that again?
Say what?
So, the group that went down was Elge, Umge, and Stanatara.
Only one Stanatara. What you would call Longbeard.
And you said... What killed him?
It wasn't the things down there.
Oh, you've got to be fucking shitting me. Fuck my life. Oh. A fucking Elgi killed the Longbeard. That's how he died.
What you see is a piece of high elven cloak. That was part of the group of Alpha that tried to kill all of us when we emerged in Eshma.
What color is this?
Looks like a grey and such. There was no markings.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, okay. So we're sitting on the powder keg of dwarf and elf civil war. Interesting. Good to know. Fuck.
But apparently, your kin weren't made aware of that.
Aye, exactly. Fuck. Oh, fuck.
But if I were to guess, I know exactly who they are. In Alaman.
In Laman?
He was down there originally.
God.
To kill us, I wouldn't... I would suspect that the ones that we encountered at the cave entrance were his men.
They're fucking diplomats. Oh. Well, fuck.
Because they want to cover up what they did thousands of years ago and get back what is theirs.
What they did thousands of fucking years ago should have been brought to the bloody surface and they should have been judged for it. And any Dawi that had a hand in it should have done the same, if they had any shred of honor.
With the amount of mass graves down there.
Sounds like from what you're telling us, well, the Warforged that were there, they broke out.
They apparently kept saying, break the chains. As they killed Alpha and freed
I wonder if they killed any Dawi while they were at it, because that would
I
have been
didn't see
fucking
any
poetic justice.
Stanatara spirits, these images. It was only Alpha and human and Warforged.
A strange one, that Warforged spirits, but then again, they're like memories. The land itself holds memories, not so much the bodies.
But there was a
What's
place
strange
that,
though is that you never found any active Warforged down there. That's what I find strange. Where did they all go?
I don't know, but from how we were seeing things, apparently Nithme Melonian was collapsing in on itself in its final day.
It's a shame. If that is true, it's a shame that the Dawi should answer for. Or if they haven't already answered for.
Perhaps they have, perhaps they haven't.
I couldn't tell you. I wasn't born then. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's a black mar on the Dawi, and anyone with any shred of honor would know that they would not be able to stay silent with it.
If you saw the
I would
amount
like to
of
hope that if
bones
that
I saw,
dwarf...
there was a place that looked like it was a manor, as it were. Outside of it, cages. And mass graves of men, women, and children. All human.
They reap what they fucking sow, I guess.
That's the Natara is... He's dead now.
I certainly fucking hope so. Because if I could get my hands on him, he would be.
Well, he was taken back with the rest of his group. Apparently his
Oh,
brother.
you're talking about Morden. I was talking about the other ones. No, I would like to think if Morden had any shred of fucking honour in his body, regular old prim that he was, if he had any shred of honour, he would have brought it to the surface and he would have held them accountable. Then again, I don't know. I'm only going off of rumour. From what I understand, he was an honourable dwarf. That's for me to say. Regardless, at the very least, I suppose he died helping the others get out, so... At least he went out in a proper Dawi fashion.
Indeed. Fighting Alpha.
Fighting beasts of the deep and then Alpha. What a wonderful fucking experience.
You want to ping God again?
Oh god. told him again. He's now saying he's on his way. I did tell him before. I know I did.
I believe he was helping with a module. I summon the god. Do I have to sacrifice a goat?
With the amount of time we've been here, I could have combed over every fucking stone. Literally.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've been here for quite a bit.
After spending enough time here, Dowie, one thing is certain. All the stonework in front of you is human in nature. None of it seems to be dwarf kind, elf kind. It certainly has stood the test of time. This must have been built around a century ago. But you look at the tower and you look back at the paper that you've been trying to decipher. It says that this tower was at the base of a large cliff hovering out over the sea. That would be to your left, wouldn't it?
Tower to the base of the left, looking out over the sea. The missive here, the expedition thing says tower, base of the cliff, over by the sea. Is this the only tower I've seen that's anywhere near a cliff and by the sea?
Well, that's what I thought that was. That it would be more closer to the water if you thought it was a lighthouse. Oh shit, what?
Is that fun?
I don't
That is
see
a
anything.
fire. That tower there? Near the cliff.
The elven one?
It is a fire on it.
I don't know, maybe I'm not seeing what you're
Cliff
seeing.
near- I mean, that is the only other tower that is near the ocean, as it were.
Let's catch up with Morian.
Don't want him wandering off.
Can't really get down that way. Mm.
You see very jagged, shattered rock against the sea.
If it be careful, Alfred and patrol this far out.
Well, apparently this missive isn't making any sense. That tower, if this is right, is what we're looking for, but it says it was at the base of the cliff was at the base of the sea.
If it's been a significant amount of time, I was thinking if it's been a significant amount of time, the tower could have fallen over.
It could have, or, as I said before, the land could have changed, the water could have moved away.
That's not at the base of a cliff, though.
The road ends here. The road is packed stone, something that wouldn't move for a long time, but it ends in shattered rock and gravel. And the stones up ahead look jagged and broken.
I don't know see this.
As you make your way to the very top, you can certainly envision a kind of tapir rock that would have extended forward across the ocean. But even you, Dowie, can see from the ancient markings along the bases of some of these stones, similar to the ones you found by the fountain, old and weathered from centuries ago, marked probably for granite and limestone. This massive chunk has cracked and sunk.
This doesn't make any sense. The tower. So they've been under the sea, but it can't be under the sea because they've been mining it with the stone has fallen into the sea. Did they not collect any? Or no, hold on. You remember what that captain boy said?
No?
He said maybe
Cause you know, Sven.
Little bit. He's far braver than I am.
Well, if he falls, then you're going after him.
Oh.
I can't swim. linger here too much longer.
Looks like he's coming back, so...
I have a feeling we're being watched right now.
I'm sure we are being.
There's evidence of them being here. The issue is that the tower we were looking for, I think, fell off of that precipice. It's now in the sea.
Huh. Well,
From what I can gather.
weren't really looking for
They
the
were
tower,
here.
just evidence that they were here, right?
Which I have here. They were here. What I was thinking is if there is a tower that it fell into the sea and it is out there, you could always try and hire one of the sea folk to look into that. Something for later. They can have a look in there and see what they find.
Sounds like a dead end.
Not so much. I do have evidence they were here. They were looking for limestone, and well, they found it. Although, from what this record says, that tower up there was supposed to be over here.
Unless that tower is a lot newer.
Uh-huh.
I guess I'm putting any closer to your hold.
It does make me follow this expedition, and the more I find about it, the more odd it seems, because they're seeming to have spent a lot of time by the sea. Don't know why. Us Dawi and the sea tend not to mix very well. Interesting. Oh, for now, shall we retire to the cave?
Sure.
We'll set up the camp, and I'm going to rest there because my time is just about up. My hands are dying.
Well, it's pretty easy shot back to the cave, so...
That it is.
What I'll see about doing is... I'll see if I can hire some of the folks, some of the fishermen, whatever the fuck, divers. See if they can have a look. If they find something, good on them. At the very least, I can say to the, I can say to Arnold. That I will have at least held up my duty in informing him of the developments. They can send more people out there to investigate, but I have no idea where the tower went. That's the thing. I don't know where it went.
In either case, next clue would more than likely be what Cass suggested. Just have to find the
Up by
whereabouts.
the Cyclops and the mountain pass, aye.
Just have to find where that is.
It wasn't very far away from home, from what I remember.
Oh,
Although I'd
that
like
is
to
a good
avoid going
indicator.
anywhere near there.
Home is east of the battlefield, so it is more than likely east, northeast. Oh, north around there, huh? General area.
At the very least, I know I'm going the right way. I know that there's something here. They were looking for stone for building purposes, which means there's something here. It's proof that there is in fact something here. The very fact that they've got documentation at all is proof that there is something here. guess there should be on our left, if I remember right.
It's right there.
Weird hut. Spooky fucking mansion place off to the right or nearby.
Yeah, that is very much there.
No, that's.
Alrighty, from this point on, you've lost me. I don't remember where we have to go from here.
This way.
then you're home, sweet home.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. What are you going to busy yourself with, Garrett?
Don't know. Something.
Apologies for having kept you waiting so long, but
That's fine.
I'm going to retire here.
Apparently, tell me I wandered away from you a lot.
Oh, I thought you were right behind me.
No, I was in front of him.
Oh.
I'm gonna retire here, Kiss Hands, so I'll leave Kaz with you.
Well. Well, if I know, the only other thing that I wanted to do was check out that graveyard, but probably a little bit too late to be doing that.
The one that is all the way out there?
Right? The way we just came from. I'll save it for tomorrow. My head hurts.
Especially with how light is getting smaller. I don't want to be out there at night.
Probably not. What about you? You headed back to the hunter's camp?
I might as well head back.
I'll walk with you.
Alright. It's at least out here. You don't have to worry about too much, even if I know you say you don't feel welcome, as it were, in the flood.
It's not that I don't feel welcome, it's that I feel like it's looking at me like I'm an oddity. Which isn't the most welcoming feeling. That's what I mean by that.
The wild, as it were.
I used to enjoy nature a lot more, and then it was uncomfortable, so I enjoyed, well, I guess tolerated being in towns and whatnot better. hence why I stayed in Nautis for the most part, but now Nautis is uncomfortable. More uncomfortable than the woods.
At least out here.
Noble to backstab you or bend the rules as it were.
Hmm.
Out here, things are so much
It's not simpler, it's just easier to understand.
easier to understand, simpler.
I guess I do need to go back to town to see if Morian grabbed the supplies from Markle, if Markle's still around. I think he is.
I thought they did.
Well, I'll check just in case.
Alright. But I've spent a better part of midlife out here.
I'm going by the 30-30 rule now. 30 minutes in town, 30 years in the forest.
Fair enough.
Well, have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
I was gonna shake your hand.
Rest well.
You as well.
Let's see if...
If you need anything, you know where to find us.
Thanks. I might. Terrific sight.
I'm probably gonna get called back any moment now. I appreciate the time.
Just keep yourself well.
How do we get one step ahead?
The stuff's been offloaded. The wood's going to stay here, but the herbs are going to go with us.
Impressed that you can carry an anchor.
I don't even think I can.
Enough Markles around.
Yes, he got off the ship.
If it was people like me and you, we
I think he went
4 or 5 people.
back to his shop, I think. I think, yeah, I know he's disembarked.
I still got to drag a bear.
That's where you should be, Kaz.
What?
He did buy some things. He did buy some things, so he should be going back to his shop, I would believe. He might stop by the tavern and go to his shop.
Alright. Also, Faye, you would notice that whatever Kaz was dealing with before, it's now worse. Right. Marco, you in here? I'm gonna lose it. I'm going to lose it.
You can take it. That is fucking terrifying.
To loiter anymore in whatever shop this is.
Let's keep going.
It's the alchemist shop.
Don't let her look see. She's not that terrifying.
Oh, not. No, not her.
Yeah, you haven't seen me pissed off yet.
Where to go now?
Hopper,
That's me.
just letting you know, the car told me earlier that there might be some, like, goblin killing work job soon.
If it's anything to do with Vicari, can go fuck himself. I'm not taking part.
You know what? On that, I agree.
It's a Merc Guild mission.
Well, then let the mercs do
If I
it.
was involved in it, I am not taking part in it. Merc Guild or otherwise.
Where the fuck did he go?
Ah, Quathar. I see you made some changes.
Why are there a bunch of those things in town?
Looks like this'll work just fine.
There's a bunch of fucking creepy
Steven's still awake. No, good.
Fuck. I am still
No, she's awake, look. Just paralyzed. The venom's doing its work, you see. The problem is we need the tablets. If we're going to read those rules.
Oh, sorry.
Look at her eyes. Monochromatic. They're different. You're right. You're right. Gods, you're right. Do you think it can be done? Can we follow what we're looking for?
Follow what?
I don't know. But I know one thing. I will have my answers. Scalpel. Right to
Not real good.
Fine. It's important.
It's not real.
Like the implants.
Real.
Similar to the real thing. Good. You think they'll hold? I don't really know. But we're going to have to try on the other side. She started to make noise. Cover her fucking mouth then. Cut. I can't quite see it. Might have made an incision in the wrong place. Pull the fucking chains tighter, she keeps wriggling. Stop moving, bitch! You're gonna make this worse! For you, not for us!
I think so.
Now you're starting to understand that no matter what, you're going to comply. You'll never see the surface again.
Just make sure to keep the civilians back.
You'll never go back to that damnable grove again. No, not till you're leading us there ourselves.
Continue on your business.
You hear me?
Continue.
You're our key to success! Wood Elf.
Fuck you. Fuck you. It's not real. It can't be.
What happened to you? Is she having PTSD?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
The pain radiates not only down your spine, but the sides of your neck, your rib cage. It feels like there's hot knives poking at your flesh. It's like bear. You feel pain around your arms as well, where the chains used to be, and the deep cuts begins to slowly subside, slowly. Your vision is blurry and bleary, and it's so hard to see.
Is the captain anywhere around?
Fucking disappeared like a fart in the wind.
Ah, right. When he does that.
I do too.
Oh, great.
Kaz, can you hear us?
No. The voices are too loud.
I'm following.
Voices?
I got Fenora.
She said something about the voices are being too loud. She hasn't done anything, but...
Are you okay?
I'm trusting you with this, Fenora.
Oh, thank you. Az'Rael, I'm here.
It's going away. Fuck.
Yeah, listen to my voice. Listen to my voice. Shh. She places her hand on your head. It's me. Shh.
They were cutting me up again.
The past.
It's just as real as it was before the voices. They cut my neck, they cut my spine.
Talking about the drawer car.
Yes.
Did you touch anything? Did it just happen?
I don't know.
You can feel severe heat at the base of her neck and also on her arms with the faint imprints on them.
Here. Takes out her water skin. Here's some water. It's okay, Wilfred. Just memories. Or maybe something more. I don't know.
They said I would lead them there. Back to my home.
It's best to keep your distance. She seems to have things under her.
So you think the Duergar are trying to make their way into Ishmael's?
was coming down
We're
here,
fine.
and I heard her. She was
don't know.
collapsed near these crates and barrels.
I don't know, Faye.
Clutching her head.
Seems to be some sort of effect in the mind.
Hmm.
Bad memories.
A little warm.
I didn't want to risk her swinging on my face.
Good that you came here.
I think Dred
I just want the pain to
was
stop.
nearby, and he offered to go get.
You sure you don't want to come to our home?
Yes.
It's peaceful there.
For you. I would do anything for this pain to stop. But it never does. My arms and legs constantly hurt, and the memories just keep coming back. And I hear the voices in my head. What did I do to deserve this? What terrible person am I truly to deserve this?
I don't know. One of my wood elves are in trouble and thinks I have to go to the forest. You're welcome to come with if you need to. Okay. Like I said before, Az'Rael, you're always welcome in my home. I think she'll be okay.
I assume she just needs a moment to cool off?
Yeah, I think it's having to do with her past, like before.
And you can assure that she's no threat? Just to be sure.
No, she's fine.
Alright.
Just let her rest. There. We need to get going. One of our wood elves is in trouble.
No.
We can do consistent checks around that. Just to make sure
everyone's in trouble.
Right.
But for now, I think it's handled.
No.
That's what I get, Cat. That's what I get for trying to come back to this cursed place. Run along now. You don't want to be seen with me.
Oh, I was so close. Okay, 3.
It's a bust.
God damn it.
Damn.
Zodi, can I have a drink?
Ooh, that's
Guys, you want something dwarven?
I don't care what it is.
Hey,
Is there anything else you'd like to know about?
I got dwarven ale if you want some.
How much do I owe you?
What's your favorite part of it?
We'll just call it a favor, yeah?
Alright, this is where my comeback begins. Good old high elf.
Probably meeting the
You won't fuck me with that favor?
No. Just buy me a drink sometime, yeah?
I met a lot of decent people.
Thanks, then.
Sure.
When I have a shit day, you buy me a drink and we'll call it even.
Sounds good. I'm gonna go shakily stumble back into the night.
Alright, stay safe.
God, I hope not.
He's with the.
You watch as fearfully all the wood elves flee town at top speed, galloping as fast as they can.
Purple and gold people?
The fuck is happening?
Those of you with dark vision would see many servants following them, hopping from rooftop to rooftop, pursuing them out of the city.
I'm not sure I want to know what's happening.
Whatever it is, it's not a problem.
You know, I'm curious though. Over 5 years. I'm curious.
There you go.
I got anything? Had any?
So the 3 or a 6? Still
I call that a 6. I call that a 6. Move this dice and we'll find out.
Yeah. Oh no, that was a 1. Yeah, I'll take that one.
That was a... yeah, wherever the 1 is.
Let's see if Monocle's still around. Actually, is he even on the map?
The port is the second largest in all of Gradia. There is a new wharf, trade, new buildings being built just outside. And school will begin again, and no more orcs. There is so much good that has come about through so much sacrifice.
I know. I've done.
So, we should be angry. When injustice is served, we should be angry. When people go astray and we don't lock them back together again, we should be angry. When our actions, no matter how humble and righteous we may think, ultimately is wrong because it harms multiple other people, we just can't look that far ahead. It's an awful thing. And I know your intentions were good. Everyone else will just say the crime fits the punishment. You got what you deserved, type deal. I know you meant well. I said the same to Miss Cass.
You got less than you deserved. Both of us.
Try to take it
Now
out.
with the council being formed at the end of the war, Arnoff no longer has a sway in decisions when it comes to people breaking the law anymore. and treason will be met with the punishment, the same punishment it always has, now that we're no longer in a time of war. Death. There will be no more second chances. This I can assure everyone.
I hate to interrupt, but have you seen Markle?
I think he retired for the night.
Figured.
Most definitely. It is very late. And it does have work.
Yeah. Tosha, you would notice that Kaz is shaking and very pale. Right, well, that's all the last I needed to do in this cursed place. I need more power. I need power. I need power. I need power. And not political power, not physical power. I need magic. I need to be able to protect myself and others from shit like this. I'll see if he still needs for me for anything. If so, I'll hang around. He might be a little busy though, so let me check. I don't have anything else I need to do. So, thank you guys so much for watching to episode 147 of Fractured Thrones. I hope you all have enjoyed. And I will catch you guys on Thursday for the next episode. So, until then, take care and good night.